Hello everyone, a very good morning to all. So in this video, we're starting with the oxo acids of group 15. So oxo acids, as the name indicates, are the acids where the hydrogen atom, which is ionizable, due to which the compound is called as acid, is attached directly to the oxygen, and that oxygen is attached to the element of which we are talking about the oxo acid. So here we are talking about group 15. So in case of group 15, all the elements exhibit oxo acids. Nitrogen is having 5 oxo acids as shown here. So these are the formula: oxo acids of nitrogen and phosphorus, as phosphorus is having 8 oxo acids. This will be discussing in detail. So the oxo acids of arsenic, they are quite unstable. They are not much stable. So this H3ASO3, this exists in solution form, and this H3ASO4 is a tribasic acid but weaker than phosphoric acid. This is prepared by the reaction of arsenic with HNO3, which is the nitric acid. That is, nitric acid is made to react with arsenic. It will give us corresponding arsenic acid. So for antimony, we have H3SbO3, which is again unstable and exists only in solution form. It is prepared from the reaction of antimony with nitric acid. Again, next for bismuth, we have only one oxo acid is feasible for bismuth, that is HbIO3, which is called as metabismuthic acid. It is stable. It is having scarlet red color, crystalline compound it is. So these are the oxo acids of nitrogen. This is the this is the hyponitrous acid H2N2O2. Here nitrogen is in +1 oxidation state. This is called as nitroxylic acid or hydronitrous acid. Here nitrogen is in +2 oxidation state. Next we have nitrous acid. Here nitrogen is in +3 oxidation state. Then next we have nitric acid. Here nitrogen is in. So in case of nitric acid, we have nitrogen in +5 oxidation state. This is the corresponding formula. Next, we have the last one out of the acids of nitrogen, oxy acids of nitrogen. The last one is peroxynitric acid. Here nitrogen is in +5 oxidation state again. So we do not need to memorize these structures directly. We can have tricks we will discuss the tricks to memorize the structure, name, formula, the oxidation state and basicity, and also the anhydrides of these oxo acids of nitrogen. So firstly, we'll have to keep in mind that nitrogen is always forming 3 bonds with other elements when we talk about the oxo acids, out of which one is going to be OH, to which ionizable hydrogen is present, due to which it is behaving as an acid. So first one is nitric acid. This will have to memorize. Nitric acid is very common. We all know about its formula, that is HNO3. So its structure is like this, where nitrogen is making one bond with OH. This is for sure. This is always required to be present to be for this moiety to behave as an acid. So there are next 2 oxygens are left. So one oxygen is present with the double bond with nitrogen, and other is having coordinate bond, where nitrogen is donating its electron pair, or we can say lone pair, to this oxygen. So why double bond is not present here? Because nitrogen can never be pentavalent. Its maximum covalency of nitrogen is always 4. So that is why here coordinate bond is present. So whenever we remove one of the oxygen from the acid which is having prefix of IC, that is nitric acid, nitric acid. So whenever we remove one oxygen, we'll get the formation of corresponding nitrous acid. Here we have removed one oxygen, we'll get corresponding nitrous acid. The formula is going to be HNO2, one oxygen less than the nitric acid. So here this oxygen is going to go. So the formula is going to be N double bond OOH. Now this nitrous acid, it exists as this. Its formula is HNO2. If we talk about the oxidation state in both the cases, oxidation state here in nitric acid for nitrogen is +5. How it comes to be +5? Oxygen is having -2 oxidation number. This oxygen will have -2 oxidation number. OH in combined form is having -1 oxidation number. So as this compound as a whole is neutral. So if we keep imagine its oxidation number to be X. So X minus 5 is equal to 0. So X comes out to be +5. So that is why the oxidation number, oxidation state of nitrogen here is +5. Similarly here, this is -2, this is -1. So nitrogen is going to be, if we take its oxidation number to be X, so X is going to be we'll have the oxidation number of X -3 is equal to 0 as the acid is neutral. So X is going to be equal to +3. So basicity, as there is only one hydrogen present, so basicity of both the acids is 1. Next we come to the anhydride. Now how to know what is the corresponding anhydride for any oxy acid? So whenever we want to know the anhydride, what we do is we remove all the possible number of water molecules. As if the number is even, then we'll remove the water molecules directly. But if the number of hydrogens is odd, what we'll do is we'll double the formula, we'll make the number of hydrogens as even. So here what will get after doubling the formula, we'll get H2N2O6. So here it is written H2N2O6. So we'll remove one water molecule from here, as only one water molecule is feasible to be removed because there are only 2 hydrogens. So one water molecule will go and will get the corresponding anhydride oxide, that is N2O5, which is the anhydride for nitric acid. Similarly for nitrous acid, here also there is odd number of hydrogen, only one hydrogen is there. We are going to double the formula, that is H2N2O4 is going to become H2N2O4. We'll remove one water molecule and we'll get the corresponding anhydride N2O3. So now we have done 2 acids, that is nitric acid and nitrous acid. Nitric acid, we have done their oxidation state, basicity, their anhydride, and the structure. So nitric acid will give us nitrous acid by just removing one of the oxygens. Now we have nitrous acid. We'll see how we can generate other acids from it. If we remove further one of the oxygens from nitrous acid, we'll get hyponitrous acid. We'll get the presence of this prefix with nitrous acid when we remove one of the oxygens. So after removing one of the oxygen, the formula is going to become NOH. So for its existence, for having stable structure, or for having nitrogen to have 3 bonds, we will have to dimerize it. So we'll double the formula. The formula is going to become H2N2O2, and the structure is like this, where each nitrogen is making 3 bonds with one OH bond, with having one OH group on each nitrogen and double bond in between the 2 nitrogen. So basicity is going to be 2, as there are 2 OH groups. Oxidation state for each nitrogen is going to be, if this is X, this is also X. So 2X minus 2 is equal to 0 for the whole structure. Whole structure is neutral, so 2X minus 2 is equal to 0. So X is equal to 1. So here nitrogen is in +1 oxidation state. Now coming to the anhydride, for anhydride, what we'll do is we'll have to see first that if there are even number of hydrogens, then we need not double the formula. As there are even number of hydrogens, what we'll do, we'll remove directly one water molecule and we'll get N2O as its anhydride. Next we have next acid which we are generate from the nitrous acid itself. What we'll do is we'll add one hydrogen and the formula is going to become H2NO2, or we can say then we further will dimerize it and we'll get the formula as H4N2O4, and the corresponding name is hydronitrous acid. We have added one hydrogen to nitrous acid, so that is why the name is hydronitrous acid, and the second name for this acid is nitroxylic acid. So this is the formula. 2 OH groups present on each nitrogen with one single bond in between 2 nitrogens, and total of bonds formed by each nitrogen is always 3 in case of these acids, these oxy acids of nitrogen. So basicity here is 4 because there are 4 ionizable hydrogens. Oxidation state for each nitrogen, how we can calculate is we will consider it as X, we'll consider it as X, we'll get -1 -1 -1 -1 X. 2X minus 4 is equal to 0. So that means from here X will come out to be 2. So each nitrogen is having the oxidation state of +2. Now talking about its anhydride, here we have 4 hydrogens. So we can remove two water molecules, that is 4 hydrogens and 2 oxygens. So after removing 2 water molecules, we'll get N2O2. That means NO, nitrous oxide or nitrogen monoxide. This is going to be the anhydride for this hydronitrous acid. So the last acid which is left is which can be generated from nitric acid, that is peroxynitric acid. How it will be generated? As the name indicates, there must be a peroxide linkage. Peroxide linkage is whenever there is a single bond present between two oxygens and that one of the oxygens is attached to hydrogen, that is OOH group is bonded to nitrogen. So when we'll add one oxygen to this nitric acid, we'll get peroxynitric acid. As the name indicates, there is a peroxide linkage in it. So one of the oxygen is going to adjust here to have the peroxide linkage. So rest of the formula is same, rest of the structure is same. So from here nitrogen comes out to be in +5 oxidation state. Basicity is again 1, as there is only one ionizable hydrogen. For finding the anhydride, we'll double the formula as there is single hydrogen present, H2N2O8. We'll remove one water molecule and the corresponding anhydride is N2O7, which is the anhydride for peroxynitric acid. So this is how we can generate all the oxyacids of nitrogen from nitric acid and nitrous acid. So now we'll be taking up these acids one by one. First one is hyponitrous acid, where nitrogen is in +1 oxidation state. The formula is H2N2O2. It is a weak dibasic acid. So it can be synthesized from sodium nitrite by the reduction of sodium nitrite with hydrogen in the presence of sodium amalgam. This is called as cold reduction. From here we'll get the formation of Na2N2O2, and further we'll neutralize this with acetic acid and then we'll treat it with silver nitrate. We'll get the formation of corresponding Ag2N2O2, that is corresponding silver salt is going to be formed, which is further treated with anhydrous hydrochloride in presence of ether, and we'll get the formation of this hyponitrous acid. And there we'll get the precipitation of silver chloride. So this is white crystalline solid which explodes upon heating and or just rubbing. So this is highly sensitive to heat. So it can explode just by rubbing. Rubbing means we can just supply a small amount of heat, it will explode. So this hyponitrous acid is very prone to oxidation, undergo oxidation. Here nitrogen is in +1 oxidation state, so nitrogen tends to increase its oxidation state, so it tends to get oxidized by reacting with oxygen to the corresponding nitrous acid and nitric acid. It behaves as reducing agent because it is having tendency to get oxidized to nitrate by acidified KMnO4. So this is the reaction where it can act as reducing agent. It can reduce manganese present here in +7 oxidation state to manganese here in +2 oxidation state, and they are exhibiting their oxidizing action upon it, and it is exhibiting its reducing action upon this KMnO4 in the presence of H2SO4. Next, we have nitroxylic acid, or we can say hydronitrous acid. Here, nitrogen is in +2 oxidation state. It is tetrabasic acid, but it is very unstable. It is highly explosive, difficult to obtain in pure form. Sodium salt is generally obtained. It is obtained from sodium nitrite. When it is reacted with sodium in liquid ammonia, it will undergo reduction and will get the formation of corresponding sodium salt of nitroxylic acid, which is yellow in color. So this mixture, that is a mixture of alkali metal and liquid ammonia. Here liquid ammonia is acting as a non-aqueous solvent. When this in this liquid ammonia we dissolve any alkali metal or alkaline earth metals, what we get is we'll get highly reducing solutions which can reduce almost anything. So here we are using this mixture to reduce this NaNO2 to the corresponding sodium salt of nitroxylic acid, which is yellow in color. Next, we have nitrous acid, which formula of which is HNO2. Here nitrogen is in +3 oxidation state. It is a weak monobasic acid. It is unstable, cannot be obtained in free state, but its solutions can be prepared as follows. So its solution can be prepared from nitrites by reacting the nitrites with cold mineral acids. But even if we react it with HCl, H2SO4, we'll get the formation of corresponding nitrous acid and the corresponding salt. So it is very unstable and undergoes auto-ionization when we warm it. Just by warming the mixture, warming the solution, it will undergo auto-ionization. It will give us nitric acid and nitrogen monoxide. So it is slightly blue in color due to the presence of N2O3 as impurity. So this gas is present as impurity here. As this can be used both as oxidizing as well as reducing agent. It can act as moderate oxidizing agent. It can oxidize iodine in its -1 oxidation state when it was in the form of iodide to the corresponding iodine in 0 oxidation state. Hi can be oxidized to I2, H2S, where sulfur is in -2 oxidation state, to pure sulfur, where sulfur is 0 oxidation state, SO2 to H2SO4, SnCl2 to SnCl4, that is 10 in, Sn in plus 2 oxidation state to the Sn in plus 4 oxidation state. So it acts as reducing agent for very strong oxidizing agents like KMNO4, K2Cr2O7, and H2O2. So these strong oxidizing agent exhibit their oxidizing action, and it exhibits its reducing action upon them, and it gets oxidized to HNO3, that is more stronger acid. So it decomposes the organic compounds, especially the aliphatic amines, to carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and water. So this is the important property of nitrous acid, that it can decompose the aliphatic aromatic organic compounds. It also acts as nitriting agent, that is, it introduces the group that is RONO and ONO2, nitrito or nitrite group. It introduces in some organic compounds. A very important reaction takes place with aromatic amines when we use this nitrous acid. We treat this aromatic amines with nitrous acid in the presence of HCl in acidic medium. Will get the formation of this disonium salt. Disonium is a group that is N2, which is when present in organic compounds, it is called as disonium salt, N2Cl. So next we have nitric acid. So nitric acid formula is HNO3, nitrogen is in +5 oxidation state here. It can be prepared from the well-known Ostwald process, about which we have already mentioned earlier while discussing the other group 15 elements, while discussing the hydrides or the oxides. While discussing the oxides actually. So it is prepared from the first step is the preparation of NO, that is nitrogen monoxide. So it is prepared from ammonia. So this is a important reaction, important use of ammonia for the preparation of NO. Then this NO is further oxidized to give NO2, and this NO2 is further reacted with water and oxygen to give HNO3. So these 3 steps are the Ostwald process. Also, it was suggested further by Birkeland and Ide that for the first step, where we were using ammonia for the synthesis of NO, this first step can be carried out using this reaction. So generally the first step is done using ammonia, but this can also be feasible using this reaction when we react this nitrogen and oxygen, take them from the atmosphere and passes electric arc at a very high temperature of 3000 to 3500 degrees Celsius, will get the formation of nitrogen monoxide, and which is the endothermic reaction. Here this first step was exothermic in nature, but here it is endothermic in nature. It requires energy and high temperature. So the physical properties are, it is pure colorless liquid which turns yellow due to the presence of nitrogen dioxide as impurity, and also becomes fuming in that case. So it is highly corrosive. Its chemical properties, it is one of the strongest acids that is highly ionizable. It will give us H positive and corresponding NO3 negative anion, that is nitrate anion. So due to the acidic character, it forms salts with alkalis. As it is an acid, it will react with alkalis, that is NaOH and CaO, which are having basic character, so to give the corresponding salts. So it is stable unless heated to give nitrogen dioxide. When it is heated, it will release nitrogen dioxide, water, and oxygen. It is a powerful oxidizing agent, as it produces nascent oxygen for its oxidizing action. It decomposes to give in its oxidizing action, it will convert itself, it gets converted to nitrogen dioxide. And when it is dilute, when it is dilute, its oxidizing action is different. It will produce nitrogen monoxide, but yes, nascent oxygen is produced in both the cases. So its oxidizing action is quite interesting with metals, except for metals like gold, platinum. HNO3 reacts with all the metals. Also, in general, acids, in general, when we treat acids with the when we treat acids with general metals, there is a liberation of hydrogen. But HNO3 exhibits both. But when we use HNO3 as acids and we treat them with alkali metals or with some other electropositive metals, its oxidizing action is different, because there it acts both as oxidizing as well as it will exhibit its acidic action. So it gives different products out of its reduction. So when it will undergo reduction, it gives these types of products based upon the reactant or based upon the conditions. So these are the products which it can generate. So here we are discussing some of the cases. Here we are discussing its action with metals that are more electropositive than hydrogen. So with metals which are more electropositive than hydrogen, what will happen is it will produce nascent hydrogen. So nascent hydrogen produced here it has exhibited its acidic action. So in the second step, it will showcase its oxidizing action. So here it has produced nascent hydrogen. So further nascent hydrogen will react with HNO3. It will produce its reduction products and water. So the type of reduction products produced will depend upon the nature of the metal, concentration of the acid, and temperature. So here in these reactions further, which we are going to discuss, here we have taken magnesium as the model metal, and further by changing the conditions, we'll see what kind of products are formed. First case is we are using concentrated nitric acid with magnesium. So with magnesium, concentrated nitric acid will give corresponding magnesium nitrate and nitrogen dioxide gas. With dilute nitric acid, we'll get the formation of nitrous oxide and magnesium nitrate. With very dilute nitric acid, we'll get the formation of ammonium nitrate. With 1 or 2% of nitric acid, we'll get the release of hydrogen gas. If we take pure concentrated nitric acid and use these metals, so there occurs it makes these metals passive, that means unreactive, due to the formation of a layer of this kind of oxide is formed. So ferric oxides are formed on this metal surface due to the action of pure concentrated nitric acid, which gives a protective layer, protective coating over these metals. So next is the action with metals that are less electropositive than hydrogen. So these are very different reactions which this nitric acid exhibits. These are just you must have this idea that nitric acid is giving different products, but I know you cannot memorize all these reactions. It is very difficult, but yes, you should have idea what kind of products it is generating and what kind of action it is having with more than electropositive metals which are more electropositive than hydrogen, and with the metals which are less electropositive than hydrogen. So here we are going to discuss the action with metals that are less electronegative than electropositive than hydrogen. So here with such metals, it will produce its reduction products plus water, and nascent oxygen is going to be produced in that case rather than nascent hydrogen, which was produced when we were using metals which were more electropositive than hydrogen. So here the nascent oxygen is going to further react with HNO3 to give the corresponding metal nitrate. Here we are taking the example of these metals. So this is the concentrated nitric acid reaction. We'll get the formation of corresponding nitrate and nitrogen dioxide. With dilute nitric acid, again copper nitrate and nitrogen monoxide. So for gold or platinum, no reaction with HNO3, but they do react with gold and platinum can react with aqua regia, but HNO3 do not react with, because these are more very stable metals. And HNO3 when reacts with, actually what happens with gold and gold and such kind of metals, gold and platinum. So HNO3, this is in aqua regia, it will produce this nascent chlorines. So when these nascent chlorines react with these metals, that is silver, platinum, and gold, they will give us corresponding chlorides. So this is the kind of action it is having with these noble metals. Next, we have action on non-metals and metalloids. So for the non-metals, it gives us corresponding oxyacids. So here we are reacting phosphorus with nitric acid. We'll get the formation of phosphoric acid, sulfuric acid, iodine, it is giving iodic acid. So with carbon, it will give us carbon dioxide. With H2S, it will oxidize H2S to sulfur. It is exhibiting its oxidizing action. Sulfur dioxide is getting oxidized to H2SO4. Ferrous sulfate is getting oxidized to ferric sulfate. So this is the kind of oxidizing action it is having with nonmetals. Next, we have action on organic compounds. So with organic compounds, generally they are oxidized. So sugars with nitric, when we treat sugar with nitric acid, we'll get the formation of oxalic acid. That means sugar has been oxidized. With glycerine, it gives an explosive substance which is called as nitroglycerin. This is an explosive substance, an important reaction. That what kind of product is formed when we treat nitric acid with glycerine. So with proteins, if we treat HNO3 with proteins, it gives us yellow colored compounds, yellow colored toned xanthoproteins. So the most common example is here when we are dealing with nitric acid in lab. What will happen if some amount of nitric acid may accidentally touches our skin will turn yellow. So that is because of the proteins present in our skin. They are reacting with this nitric acid, and they are getting converted to these xanthoproteins, which are yellow in color. So yellow coloration of hands on contact with acid is due to this. So here, this is the structure for the nitric acid. It is planar structure where nitrogen, the oxyacid structure we have already discussed, that it is trigonal planar, where one of the oxygen is doubly bonded and one of the oxygen is having OH group, and there is a coordinate bond from nitrogen to oxygen. So next we have peroxynitric acid. Formula is HNO4. Oxidation state is +5 for nitrogen. It is very unstable, explosive, and smells like of that of a bleaching powder. So it is prepared from the oxidation of nitrous acid. Nitrous acid is oxidized using the oxidizing agent, that is H2O2, and we'll get the formation of peroxynitric acid. It is used as a very strong oxidizing agent. It can oxidize aniline to nitrobenzene, KBr to Br2. So this is the kind of oxidizing action of peroxynitric acid. So that is all about the oxoacids of nitrogen. In the next video, we'll be taking up the oxoacids of phosphorus, and we'll see how we can memorize these oxoacids, their structure, their oxidation state, their basicity, their corresponding anhydride. So all of that and their corresponding reactions, their oxidizing action, etc. we'll be discussing in the next video. So that is it for this video. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of the day.